Hey, what's up, everyone? How are we doing? Another week, another manager. What is going on? I swear to God, I said last week that Liam Rosenior would not be the last manager to get sacked before the season is over. And lo and behold, David Wagner gets his head chopped by Norwich after a 4-0 thumping at Ellen Road. And I'm not for 1 second saying that Norwich shouldn't have won that game. It's always going to be hard going to Ellen Road, but over the 2 legs, you need to back yourself to be beating Leeds, who have been in some dire form recently. Unpopular opinion, I quite like Leeds as a team, and I want them to go to the Prem. I think they're one of the best fan bases in the country, and I know all the Northern teams hate them. United, just hate them, which I don't really get, to be honest. I think I kind of like them because they pissed Villa off a few years ago. I think that's why I like them. I'll never forget that game. Villa had to ask Leeds for a goal like you're playing FIFA with your dad and he scored too early. I thought it was brilliant. It was Villa tears. I loved it. But don't tell them I told that because we're currently going to League One and they're in Champions League, so they've got their fair amount of ammunition to come back at me for that one. However, David Wagner, I don't feel like he's absolutely broke the bank with this Norwich team. Josh Sargent, Gabriel Sara and Jonathan Rowe have got like 18, 14 and 13 goals. They've done more than their fair bit this season. I feel like he's done well with the players that he's been given. I get they want to go up, but what happened? I've said it a million times on the channel. Culture, philosophy, building a project. It's like, get me to the Prem now, and if you don't, you're gone. There's got to be more to it than that. And I know you want the parachute payments, you want the promotion, you want the parachute payments when you come down. And I don't know if this is a business model that they have in place, but this whole model of surviving financially, it's just not good enough. No one makes money in football. That's what I mean. Every club operates at a loss by like the top dogs. Well, I think Bournemouth do okay as well for some reason. I remember them being up there, but you operate at a loss. I think this financial money of going up and down, it just doesn't work for teams. I would have kept David Wagner. I don't know who they're going to bring in. Someone else that have just got a decent record in a foreign league, probably. Norwich fans, how do you feel? I don't think it's the right decision at all. The same as the Liam Rosenior one. It's just very harsh, very brutal. And I'm a Birmingham fan. We've had 6 managers this season, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to sacking managers. I'm sort of an expert in this field. But then you do go up to the Premier League and you've got Wolves becoming the club of the people. United fans alike, like everyone up and down the country, and saying VAR is shit. Can you please listen to us? We've been telling you for years. It doesn't solve clear and obvious errors, because every time Chelsea have a penalty, I've got to watch Cole Palmer stare down the keeper for 4 minutes while everyone decides, was it offside, was it a pen, or was it a foul? I'm joking. I actually really like Cole Palmer. But you know what I mean? I feel like every game, the first thing you do when someone scores is you look at someone else. Feel like, as you cheer and you're like, is it in? It just kills it entirely. And what I'm saying is not original. But the one thing that Wolves did say that I did like is it diminishes the responsibility and accountability of in-match officials. I love that. I don't remember pre-VAR knowing all the referees' names. I feel like I know every referee by name. I see them and they're like, oh, so-and-so. What? And why is that? It's because they're the star of the game, week in, week out. They're in the papers more times than the players. And I know, I didn't say anything a few weeks ago when Nottingham accused Luton, the Pogmol guy, of being a Luton fan, because I don't think that was the way to go about it. A clear and concise statement with bullet points saying why VAR is shit was perfect. It's beautiful. I even seen West Brom fans agreeing with what they've done, and that says a lot. West Brom fans are more inbred than butter, but with the fact that they've agreed with them just unites football. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not in the Championship or League One, and I hope it never does come to it, because the refereeing is shit as it is, and to have shit refereeing and then accountability taken away from it, it's just a recipe for disaster. It even looks stupid. like, you know when you watch it on TV and you're like, there's a free frame of players, and then you got some guy just with his little ruler and his pen and his little protractor, and he's like, oh, you look at it like this, it just looks stupid. It doesn't look professional whatsoever. And like, you've been shown a slow-mo of some guy getting punched in the head, and the referee runs over, he's like that. And then, like, he turns around. Have you ever seen a referee turn around and look like they were convinced with what they've seen? They turn around, they're like this. It doesn't look convincing whatsoever. It looks like it just looks so amateur. Even the way La Liga do it is better, where they don't even like show you the full process. He runs over and they're like that. Look, you run over and they're like that. Yeah. And they're off the gun. And if no one agrees, you just box them. It's like, well, I've made my decision. I'd rather that. I'd rather a decision go against me and the ref look a bit confident in the choice that he's made, rather than coming over and being like, and just hoping that the majority of the crowd applaud. It's just such a weird way of doing things. I just don't understand it. Oh, what else is there to talk about? Jesus, man, it pisses me off so much. And this is the thing, I haven't even got a horse in that race. I just support whatever team plays Villa. And don't get me wrong, it's been a pretty boring season when it comes to that, because they've done all right. Well, they've done really well. But I haven't even got a horse in the race, and I hate it. I don't know. But what else is there? Oxford. Oh, how are Oxford in the playoffs? What's going on? Bolton are playing Oxford to come into the Championship, and you know what that means. In the modern day game, it's just like you get promoted into League One, and then there's no such thing as like promoted into League One and then you fight in the Championship and go to Prem. If you get into League One and get promoted, you just catapult all the way to the Prem. The Championship is just like, it's for the teams that didn't quite make the landing pad that League One catapults you from, because of the fact there's no financial fair play. So Oxford will come up. If they do walk League One and just piss it, because they are in pretty good form despite the fact it's Oxford, they'll just catapult over the Championship like Ipswich have done. Like Wolves done in 2013, like Luton done. I don't know what it is. It's just weird. They come up and they just slap teams. Like Plymouth come up and they look like a really good team. I can't believe they stayed up, but everyone that comes up looks convincing, other than not Rotherham, obviously. Who's in the Championship playoffs? Oh yeah, we've discussed that. I can't believe I've got to support Southampton to support West Brom. Southampton's answer to everything is, we'll just go out there and attack, and if they score first, we'll just commit more men forward. If they're like Leeds under Bielsa, he's like, what's your formation? Oh, we've got a goalkeeper and 10 up front. I don't know. What else is there to talk about? I feel like there's been so much. Let's have a look. And then in a couple of months we've got the Euros coming up. I'm gonna say something very unpopular now, and I dread to think what the comments are going to look like in this video, because I've joked on a few teams and bagged on them, but we'll be alright. Yeah, and that's pretty much all the immediate discussions wrapped up, isn't it? I think, other than, I suppose we could talk about Tottenham's performance against Man City. I've never watched more of a rigged game than that. And then Ange comes out after and says the infrastructure around the club's weak. I don't know. I do get what Ange Postecoglou was saying. A lot of people seem to think he doesn't understand the rivalry. He's an intelligent guy. I do think he understands the rivalry. He was part of the Old Firm rivalry, for God's sake. He understands it. I think his mentality of, we're doing ourselves out of Champions League football because we're focused on what Arsenal are doing. And I think, I don't know, managers, if you ask me what the core of Tottenham's problem is, I'll say Daniel Levy every single time. I think Tottenham fans would agree. And I know a lot of people love to laugh at Tottenham and that. I feel for them, man. I feel for Harry Kane, bless him. I saw some guy saying that the other day that he's won. The only things he's ever won is a couple of golden boots and a Duke of Edinburgh. And some bowler when he was 8. I can't remember who said it, man, but it was brilliant. I do feel for him. To go out to Bundesliga as well and get slapped up over there, it's bad. I don't know what it is. He will come good eventually. He has to. But as for Tottenham, I think Daniel Levy's the problem. I don't know if he's watched the JT talking to Simon Jordan. JT said if the buck has to stop with the manager, he has to have complete control. He said Chelsea didn't work the second time around when Mourinho come back is because there was a representative of Abramovich that players could talk to, which undermines what Mourinho does. So I think that may be the problem. Is it that the players can go and talk straight to Daniel Levy or have this overarching power on the club that they can impose, a bit like the Man United players in the dressing room? Is that the reason? I don't know. I feel for Ange. He was almost talking as if he didn't want to be there after that post-game with Man City. I think he does. I think he's just frustrated and he's trying to change the culture. I don't know how possible that is at Tottenham because everything does run through Daniel Levy. And I think that's his name. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of you are loving it. I suppose it's round of applause to Man City for yet another Premier League wrapped up. To go next to all the other ones in your billions of pounds, your Champions League, your triples, your Carabao Cups, FA Cups, just throw it in the pile. It's just devalued trophies to them. The trophies must feel like nothing now, because it's just like, yeah, done. You know, they mess around with tactics until Christmas, for God's sake. They just mess around with tactics, do what they want, and then as soon as Arsenal feel like they're away with it, they turn it on. Arsenal haven't won a game since bloody Villa, I think it was actually. I can't remember. It's just not enough. You're playing mutants, just football nerds. They're just nerds of football. That's all they are. But that's the rant over. I feel like I've been ranting for far too long. A stream of consciousness is what I prefer to call it, actually. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, man. Definitely subscribe because if you don't, you're just sponging. That's all you're doing. You're just using me for average content, and this average content comes at a price, and that price is a subscription. Just click the button, man. What are you doing? Just grow up. Yeah, but take it easy, guys. I'll see you next time.